Hey everyone! There are new food stamp rules that went into effect in November, and honestly, millions of people are already being impacted. Millions are going to get kicked off the SNAP program. I've been getting so many questions about this in the comments section, and I know people are worried. So, I want to spend time with you in this video explaining all the details: who's affected, who's exempt, and what you need to do if this applies to you. I actually have screenshots that I'm going to put up on the screen so you can see exactly what the official rules say. I know it's confusing, and this is a very uncertain time for a lot of people who depend on these benefits to put food on the table. So, let's break this down together. I'm going to explain everything step by step. Before we dive in, I just want to clarify everything I'm talking about in this video pertains to the food stamp program SNAP benefits, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, the money that gets deposited onto your EBT card. I talk about Social Security and other benefits virtually every day on this channel, but today we're specifically focused on food stamps and SNAP. Just wanted to make that clear from the start. All right, let me put these screenshots up on the screen so you can follow along as I explain this. There are two major points I need to hit on with these new rules that went into effect in November. Number one is the age range. The new age range for work requirements is now 18 to 64. So anyone between 18 and 64 needs to fulfill the work requirement if they are able-bodied. Number two is the definition of a dependent has changed, and this is huge. I'll explain this in detail in just a minute. But first, let me address the question I've received literally hundreds of times over the last several days. The number one question I keep getting is, I have a disability. Do I need to fulfill the work requirement? The simple answer is no, absolutely not. If you look at the screenshot I have on screen, one of the exemptions is listed as medically unfit. That means mentally unfit or physically unfit. In other words, if you have a mental or physical disability, you are exempt from the work requirement. And here's what's really important. Disability means exempt regardless of age. You could be 18, you could be 28, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78. It does not matter. Any age range. If you have a disability, whether you fall between the ages of 18 and 64 or above, it doesn't matter. Disability means exempt from the work requirement, period. I really wanted to spend time on this right off the start because that is the most common question I get, and I want to make absolutely sure everyone understands this. If you have a disability, you don't need to worry about these work requirements at all. Here's another big one. If you're 65 or over, you're fine. Nothing. You don't have to do anything whatsoever. Let me say that again for anyone who needs to hear it. If you're 65 or above, you are 100% fine. You don't have to worry about this at all. The work requirement only applies to people aged 18 through 64. So if you're 65, you just made the cutoff. You're good. I get questions like, I'm 68. Do I need to do this? No. Your age is above the range. Whether you have a disability or not doesn't even matter at that point. Your age alone exempts you. So let's make this crystal clear. 65 and above, no work requirement, no dependent definition. Nothing pertains to you. You are completely exempt. Now let's talk about the other major change, the new definition of a dependent. This is where a lot of people are going to be caught off guard. Under the old rule, anyone under the age of 18 was considered a dependent. Under the new SNAP rules, a dependent is only someone aged 13 and under. That's it. 14 and above is no longer considered a dependent for SNAP purposes. That's a huge difference. Let me give you some examples so you understand how this plays out. Example one, let's say you're 32 years old and you have a 14-year-old child. Under the old rule, you would have been exempt from the work requirement because you had a dependent under 18. Not anymore. The new rule says that 14-year-old is not considered a dependent. So you would need to fulfill the work requirement unless you have a disability or are pregnant, which would still exempt you. Example two, let's say you're 36 years old and you have a 13-year-old child. If you're able-bodied and you have that 13-year-old dependent, you are exempt from the work requirement. That's the cutoff. But next year, when that child turns 14, You won't be exempt anymore based on that dependent. Example 3, what if you have multiple kids of different ages? Someone asked me, I have a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. What do I do? Well, by the definition, you'd be exempt because of the 10-year-old. The 14-year-old no longer exempts you, but the 10-year-old does. So you're covered. Let me quickly go through the other exemptions because there are a few more groups of people who don't need to worry about this. Pregnant women are exempt. If you're pregnant, you don't need to fulfill the work requirement. Anyone who is medically unfit, as we discussed, that covers both mental and physical disabilities. If you have a qualifying dependent aged 13 or under, you're exempt. So there are multiple different ways that someone could be exempt from the work requirement for the SNAP program. The key is understanding which category you fall into. Okay, so if you're not exempt, what exactly do you need to do? The work requirement is 80 hours per month or 20 hours per week. Now, this can be fulfilled in several ways. Working a regular job, hourly, salary, 9 to 5, whatever it happens to be. Just literally working counts. Education or training. If you're enrolled in certain education programs or skills training, that can count toward your hours. Volunteering. Volunteer work also qualifies in many cases. So you do have some flexibility in how you meet this requirement. It's not just about having a traditional job. Here's my best advice. Connect with your local SNAP office. If you fall into the category where you're between 18 and 64, you're able-bodied, meaning you don't have a disability, and you don't have a qualifying dependent age 13 or under, then you need to reach out to your local office. Just call them up and say, hey, I'm 38 in, or I'm 56 in, or whatever your age is. Here's my situation. Do I need to fulfill the new work requirement? They have all your data. They have all the information about your personal situation, and they can give you clarification specific to your case. All the information I'm giving you here is accurate. But since your local office has your complete file, it's always a good idea to verify with them directly. All right, back to SNAP. Let me hammer this home one more time because I want to make absolutely sure everyone understands. If you have a disability, regardless of your age, you are exempt. It doesn't matter if you're 25 or 55 or 75. Disability means you don't need to do the work requirement. Period. If you're 65 or older, you're exempt. No work requirement, nothing. You're completely fine. If you have a dependent aged 13 or under, you're exempt. Even if you have other children who are 14 or older, if you're pregnant, you're exempt. Those are your exemptions. If you don't fall into any of those categories and you're between 18 and 64, you need to meet the 80 hours per month work requirement. I said it at the beginning and I'll say it again. Millions of people are going to lose their SNAP benefits because of these new rules. Millions are going to get kicked off the program. A lot of people are very scared about this, and rightfully so. If you depend on these benefits to feed yourself or your family, this is incredibly stressful. That's why you need to understand what these rules are if you want to continue receiving benefits. You need to know if you're exempt or if you need to start fulfilling the work requirements. Don't ignore letters from your SNAP office. Don't assume you'll be fine. Check your status and understand where you stand. Look, I know this is a lot of information. I know it's confusing and overwhelming. That's exactly why I made this video, to help you understand what's happening and what you need to do. If you want me to do a dedicated live stream where I can answer your questions in real time, let me know in the comments. I have no problem doing that. I'd be happy to jump on and walk through this again, answer specific questions, and help in any way I can. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It's 100% free. Just hit that big subscribe button right down below the video. I sincerely appreciate it, and please share this video. There are so many people out there who are wondering about these specific details and trying to avoid getting kicked off the program. A lot of people are scared and they need this information. Remember, I'm here on your team I'm here to help you understand all the new rules, all the programs you can take advantage of, and to keep you updated as things change. Drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. I read every single one, and your questions help me know what to cover next. I will continue to keep you updated as we get more information about the current situation. Until next time, thank you so much for being part of this community. I hope this helps you. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon in the And Respect.